Hello everybody, it's me Alex here, and actually this is the first video. I'm using the new camera for Christmas. I'm actually test recording with this, and actually it's great quality so far. And this is me showing off my collection of horror movies and other stuff. Basically this little part right here is like a little horror part in my room. I don't know why, but I actually put these little Niagara Falls brochures right here. There's Screamers, House of Horrors in Niagara Falls. I've never been in there. I'm probably not going to go in there either. There's the Haunted House in Niagara Falls. Yes, I did go in there, and it's not scary at all. There's no actors. It's just animatronics. What's this one? Final Destination 5, I think? Yeah, it's the 5th one, I think. The 3D one. And, the radio's blocking it. And there's Nightmare's Fear Factory, never going in there. House of Frankenstein, both sides of the brochure. I'm going in there, that one looks pretty cool. And there's an Elvira poster. I got that at wasn't it a fan expo thing me and my dad went to. And also my dad got his face in this picture, like it was an editing thing. So it looks like that these things are coming out of his face. Like it's like a Photoshop type of thing they had there. It looks pretty cool. I don't think I got one done for me. But it was pretty cool. I actually got a picture taken with Robert Englund there, the guy who played Freddy Krueger, and I even met Tom Savini. But I'll talk about this actually later in the video. Now first, I just gotta show off this thing. Now this thing right here is basically just a little figurine, and you squeeze it and this happens. Yeah, it can be very annoying when that falls off the shelf and it does that in the middle of the night. This right here is a calendar I got off Club Nintendo. And that right there is my Donkey Kong poster that I got off Club Nintendo. It came with 2 other ones. And, how many coins is it again? I think it was 400 coins. It's out of stock right now, but it came with a Donkey Kong Country Returns one, an old Donkey Kong one, and the history of Donkey Kong. Okay, let's get started with some of the DVDs. I'm going to take the first shelf off. And it's been a while since I've seen some of these, since I usually watch the most of these in October, the month of Halloween. And, yeah, let's get started. Let's just turn the lamp down a bit. Here's Alien, the very first Alien on Blu-ray. Let me kind of zoom out a bit. Yeah, this is the very first Alien on Blu-ray. It was okay. I think it was pretty good. I'm not a massive fan of sci-fi movies, but I kind of like this one. But either way, these are in alphabetical order. So, yeah. This is the sequel, Aliens, on Blu-ray. And, from what I remember, this was better than the first. It's been a while since I've seen any of these, but I literally remember falling asleep when I was watching it. That's probably because I was tired, not because the movie was boring or anything. Alien vs. Predator sucked. I remember, it's such a long time since I've seen any of these, but I know this one sucked. And also, by the way, some of the DVDs are going to have, you notice the casing might not be correct because I'm in Canada, but, and some of the casing might not be correct for some of the DVDs because the store I got a lot of my horror movies from only had the discs, so I had to find a box and the cover. I had to print the cover off this website for a lot of my DVDs. So yeah, you might see that a lot. Alien vs. Predator was just wow. Even Freddy vs. Jason was better, and that movie's not even that good either, but I'll talk about that later. Alien vs. Predator Requiem. It was the same as that, only slightly better. That's all there really is to say about it. What else is there? Oh, now this series, the Chucky series, is a series I love, because this is the first horror movie I ever watched, and I watched this with my dad when I was 10 or 11, because I was always scared of this guy. My dad's like, it's really not that scary. If you want, we can go rent it from our Blockbuster. This is when Blockbuster was around. And we watched it, and I thought, wow, I was really scared of this. Because it wasn't even that scary. Most of the time, you don't even see him. So, I guess you could kind of say that adds to the suspense of it, but it wasn't that scary. It could be creepy. If it depends on, like, it depends how easily you get scared. So that's the first Child's Play. It has no bonus features. It just comes with the movie, the trailer, and that's it. But the scene that creeps me out the most is when you see Chucky talk for the first time. Just the way it's animated is a bit creepy. I don't know why. Now this cover is creepy too. Look at that cover. Man. This is basically Child's Play 1, only it has special features. And, yeah. You know what's really weird, actually, is that I got this at Walmart. And I didn't have anybody else with me. I think I was like 13 when I got this, so it was like a year ago. And they sold it to me. It's rated R, but they still sold it to me anyway. But I go to EB Games, and I get a mature rated game. They don't let me buy it by myself. Child's Play 2. This is probably my least favorite to watch out of all of them, in my opinion. Because it's just not that... Sometimes it just gets very stupid, like with the classroom scene, with the stairs scene. That, scene with the photocopy, whatever it is, like an image scanner or something. Like, some of the death scenes were just stupid, but overall, it could be a bit creepy sometimes, but, you know. I think this is the last movie where they, tried to be creepy. Child's Play 3. Now, for some reason, this movie is, like, almost impossible to find in Canada. I got this at the same, fan expo where I got that poster and, another DVD, but, yeah, it's very hard to find in Canada, but overall, this is my favorite to watch out of all of them, because it's just so silly, it's hilarious. And it's just awesome, like, it's awesomely bad. It's him in like a military camp, and he's chasing after Andy because he went from foster home to foster home because they thought that his mom was insane for believing his story about Chucky. And if you look closely at this picture right here, it looks like a mentally insane gremlin. But you go in the back, and this picture from the movie, they photoshopped that face on the picture, on the little body. Yeah, I really don't know why they bothered. Really don't know why they bothered. And it has the girl from Entourage in that movie. I never watched that show, but that's what I've seen the clip somewhere. Bride of Chucky. This is basically Child's Play 4. I actually didn't know that Child's Play was part of the Chucky series. I thought it was this and Seed of Chucky. But, this movie it's a lot of people either love it or hate it. And honestly, this is when Chucky started to take himself less seriously. And, you know, it's just... No, I would say 3 kind of started that, but it's not bad, but it's not very good. I don't know why so many people like it. It's kind of like Child's Play 3 in a way, like... I don't know why, but it reminds me of Child's Play 3. Let's get the next set of DVDs. Let's get it off the shelf. Okay, open or drop it. Alright, here we go. Now, last one, Seed of Chucky. A lot of people hate this one, and a lot of people love this one. Like 75% people hate this one. And this is the uncensored and fully extended version. Now, I actually kind of like this one. It's because it's just so silly, it's hilarious. But I think the ending to this movie is terrible. And it's just such a bad way to end the series, because this is the last Chucky movie at the moment. I heard somewhere that they're going to make a remake of the first Child's Play and do a sequel to that one called like Revenge of Chucky or something. That's probably bullshit, because that was never announced, and I heard that like 2009. I heard that. Well, anyway, I gotta just do a quick edit because my camera can only record up to 10 minutes at a time, so be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. The next movie is a Creep Show. Now, I just don't like this movie that much. I know a lot of people do like it, and yes, Tom Savini does do the effects for this movie. And I actually met Tom Savini at the Fan Expo thing, and I think I have a picture with him somewhere. But there's something really weird about this movie right here. Is this box? Now, you know I said earlier is that where I get some DVDs that the boxes are like kind of weird looking because they didn't only had the case, only had the disc. This one is actually like a perfectly fine disc. Like you see that right there, it says Creep Show. And the little reflection right here, not reflection, this little, on the flip side thing right here, you got this little thing that has all scenes and stuff. So it's like a perfectly legit DVD. It's just the box looks like it was from 1979 when they didn't even have DVDs. It's weird. Now next is probably one of my favorite series too. Friday the 13th. There's Friday the 13th, the deluxe editions. There's Friday the 13th Uncut. Friday the 13th Part 2. Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D. It comes with 2 pairs of 3D glasses actually, and these are all the deluxe editions, so they come with a bunch of DVDs. And a bunch of bonus features, sorry. And this one, Friday the 13th Final Chapter, and this one comes with a holographic case. And let's look at that. I'm not sure if you can, I'm pretty sure you can see it through the camera, but the knife pretty much just comes out of his eye. Which is ironic, because that's actually how he dies in this movie. So I'm not sure if that was intentional or not, but yeah. But then, I had the first 4. I was trying to find the last 4, because there's 12 movies in this series, if you count the remake in Freddy vs. Jason. But, 8 of them are owned by Paramount, and the rest of them are New Line Cinema. So I was trying to find the last 4 that were owned by Paramount, but then I found this box set, the Friday the 13th Ultimate Collection, and there was only 50,000 made, and this is 47,486 out of 50,000. I got this at Walmart for only, I think it was like $40, and it comes with the first 8, so I got the same 4 movies again, but you know, it's well worth it because you get this mask. Now this mask actually used in this mask actually used in my haunted house this year for Halloween. And it fits perfectly, but I'm not sure if I'm going to wear it again. I think I'm just going to frame it or something. But yeah, it comes with that mask. It even looks all worn out. It actually came like that. It's supposed to look like that, like it is in the movies. It comes with a mask, 2 extra pairs of 3D glasses, so now I have 4. So I guess if I have friends over, or if I want to watch it with my family, then I guess I can use those glasses, I guess. But I watched them. I'll talk about that when I talk about all the movies. So yeah, here's the box set. Here's the back of it, a little picture of Jason right there in the forest, and this one right here in the front with his machete. Okay, so let's talk about all the movies in general. Now, first there's Friday the 13th 1, and as an uncut version. I watched both versions actually. Let me just zoom out. I watched both versions, and the uncut one is just slightly gorier than the original one. It's like 30 seconds altogether in terms of uncut footage. But it's still, I think that movie's pretty creepy. I don't like watching it because of how creepy it is. I don't know why. It's like the same with Halloween. I just don't like to watch that movie because of how creepy it is. Friday the 13th Part 2. Also, it has some Friday facts, the body count, the weapons used, and the posters for the movies. Sorry, I have a few voice cracks. My throat kind of hurts today. Body count 10, weapons used 8, 9. Sorry. Yeah. And it's funny in the trailer for the first and second. they had like a little counting thing where it's like 1, 2, 3, and it went up to like 13. But half of them are just random clips. Only 10 people die, and when they show it, it's always like some guy saying like you're gonna die and stuff like that. But they never actually show most of the death scenes in the trailer. And the second one, it just shows the same person getting killed over and over and over again. Like it shows like different clips. But the second one I thought was actually pretty good. And it is actually pretty gory compared to the first one, but I think the first one is a bit creepier. And I hate the spear bed part in this movie. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's pretty gross. Friday the 13th 3 in 3D. I kind of like this one. A lot of people don't like this one, but I think it's pretty good. I mean, the first two are technically better, but I don't like watching this movie in 3D. It's the old 3D, obviously, not the fake 3D we have now. But I just don't like watching it in 3D because my eyes start to hurt so much. And there's only like certain parts in the entire movie where it's in 3D. So your eyes hurt so much by the time you get to a good part that you just want to take it off. But the death scenes, most of the death scenes are in 3D, so that's pretty cool. Now Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter, is my favorite one. Let's see some Friday facts. The guy who did the effects for the first movie came back and did the effects for this one. And that was Tom Savini, the guy I met at the Fan Expo thing. That's what I just call it, the Fan Expo thing. And, the thing is, actually, I actually met him, and you know that scene where that hitchhiker is just sitting on the side of the road eating a banana and Jason comes and kills her? I asked how he did that, because there's a bonus feature thing in this DVD with, it like shows how they did some of the stuff. It's called the slashed scenes. Focus already. Yeah, it's called the slashed scenes. It's right there, and it doesn't show that. But when I met him, I asked how he did it. He said he had like a knife that kind of goes like this, like it's a bit curved. So they had to like angle it around her throat. Which, I can't believe that they did that because it looks so real in the end. But every death in this movie to me just feels so short anyway. Like, I never really understood. Like, it's like 2 seconds and then it just keeps going. But, yeah, when I asked him the question, he sounded like he was asked that question a lot because he answered it pretty quickly. But, 14 people die in this one, I think if you count Jason. And, yeah, this does have a Crispin Glover and Corey Feldman in it. Friday the 13th Part 5. Wow. Main reason this one sucks is because this one was, like, made a year after the final chapter was, released. And I think the only reason this one was made to begin with is to compete with the Nightmare on Elm Street series. That's my theory. I might be wrong about that. Instead, it sucks because, like, it's not even Jason. It's some guy pretending to be him. The music in this movie sucks. It's, like, the first 4 were creepy. And this one just sucks. There's 21 death scenes, and they're all either off-screen or, like, there's, like, no blood, and it just looks very fake. But you got 10 in the original one. They're all creepy and, like, have an eerie, like, effect to the movie. But you have 21 here, and they're all shit. But, it's like the type of movie you want to watch to make fun of it. It's just not that good. Like, even the hardcore horror fans who like the whole series, people hate this one even more than they hate Jason Goes to Hell. I don't have that movie, but I have seen it, but I'll talk about that when I get to it. Now, Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. It was pretty good. They actually got Alice Cooper to write 3 songs for the film, as it says right there. Oh, and by the way, the alternate title for this movie was Repetition. I don't know why you want to call it that. But, also, one more fun fact before I have to do an edit. This was ranked number 1 because they thought, oh, it's Jason again. This was ranked number 1 at the box office, but this one is ranked number 2 because they thought it would suck. Just like this one did. But anyway, 1 second, gotta do an edit again. like I was saying before, this one was ranked number 1 at the box office on the opening weekend, but this one was ranked number 2 because they probably thought that Jason wasn't even going to be in it, and they probably thought it was going to suck like that one did. But let's see what else there is. Average amount of time it takes to get over a friend's death, 2 minutes. Okay. Friday the 13th Part 7, A New Blood. A lot of people love this one. I don't understand what's the big deal about it. It's just the same as 6, really. Except for you have, like, this psychic girl who ends up killing Jason. But it's not a bad movie, it's just... It's not that memorable for me. It's just... You know, it's just the movie, it's like just there. It's kind of like this one right here. Jason Takes Manhattan. It's just there. Like, there's nothing special about it. This movie is actually kind of boring, to be honest. This one right here. I thought it would be a bit more exciting, but the entire time it takes place on a boat. And, it ends in, like, a sewer. And let's see this. Survivors 3, including Toby the dog. Oh wow, they put cocaine, heroin, and crack in this movie. They make their series debut. Okay. And, yeah, by the way, Kane Hodder, a lot of people praise him as the greatest Jason. He played in 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, 9, I have seen Jason Goes to Hell. I don't own it. But I thought it was the stupidest movie I've ever seen at the time I watched it. It's just... Basically, Jason gets killed. I don't have the movie. I don't have the box. But Jason gets killed at the beginning of the movie. And this guy discovers his heart. And he just starts to eat it for some reason. And he turns into Jason. And, yeah, this is pretty much just the way to, the Jason has to get back to life, is by taking over other people's bodies, by puking up his heart into their mouth. And I'm just like, that is the most ridiculous story I've ever heard. Like, if you want to really, like, understand the story, you should go to check out this guy named, Eshabal, I think that's how you spell it. He does a series called Horrible Horror. And, they're actually pretty funny videos. Sorry about this, I'm just trying to get this back in the box, but it doesn't look like it's working, so I'll just put that over there. By the way, this is a South Park pillow. It was actually kind of in the way. It was over there in the corner, so I just moved it over there. What else? Yeah, I haven't seen Jason X, but I heard it was just complete shit, so I don't want to watch it. Freddy vs. Jason. Now, this movie could have been very good, but it just wasn't. It was just insanely boring. There was like 2 fight scenes. One of them was like 2 minutes long. One of them wasn't really a fight scene. The other one it wasn't really a fight scene. It was a torture scene, basically. Even the ending fight scene, while it's kind of good, it's still stupid. Like, half the stuff they do makes no sense. And, you know, the whole plot of the movie is dumb. Like, you think it'd be them fighting the whole time, but half the time they don't even know where half each other are. And all the characters in this movie are complete retards, and it's just not very good. It's like one of those movies you want to watch on TV and never watch it again. Now let's get to a bunch of other ones. Alright, now we got a few classics here. Sorry if you're looking into that light. Halloween. Okay, I'm going to try to move this light so I don't blind anybody. Halloween. No, this movie is probably as creepy as Friday the 13th in my opinion. I don't know why, but when I watched this movie, I had nightmares. It took me... No, I didn't watch this movie until, like, I was 13. Because of how scary I heard it was. I think I was 12 or 13 when I watched it. Because of how scary it is. Like, when I watched it, I was pretty creeped out, but when I was a kid and I like saw some clips on YouTube, I had nightmares for weeks because it just looks so creepy. Like his mask, the music was like the creepiest soundtrack ever. And there's no gore in the movie, but it doesn't really need any. That's how creepy it is. Hellraiser. This is the one with Pinhead. This is the only Hellraiser movie I've ever seen. And this one, once again, is just the disc I have. But wow, look at that cover. The back side. That's just gross. But it's a pretty good movie. It's, you know, it's not the best movie I've ever seen, but it's not that bad. It could have been, like, a bit, like, better, but, you know. It's a pretty disturbing movie, really, when you watch it. Nightmare on Elm Street 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, 1, I didn't think it was so scary when I watched it the first time. But that's probably because I didn't watch it. I closed my eyes half the time. So, when I watched it the second time, I understood why a lot of people get creeped out by that movie. But the second movie I found it wasn't as bad as people think. It's not the worst movie of all time. It's definitely not the best, but Nightmare on Elm Street 3 is one a lot of people do like, actually. It's actually been a long time since I've seen any of those. I only remember the first two. And 4, I think, is like the one with the... no, it's not the one with the kid. The Dream Master is what it's called. I think it's like the beach one. It's been such a long time, but I remember a lot of them are good, but weird. Very, like, weird at the same time. So yeah, they're okay. I recommend giving that series a shot. I've only seen the first 4. What I've heard, 6 sucks, so I don't want to watch that one. And I heard the remake was alright, and I haven't heard too much about New Nightmare. But, you know, it's like Jason. You should give it a shot, just for the entertainment of it. Psycho. Now, this is a Universal Classics release thing. And, wow, this movie is a classic. Like, this is such a good movie. I've seen some of the sequels. I don't think of... yeah, I've seen all the sequels, and all the sequels, they're not bad, but they're just so meh. Like, they're just so pointless. Like, there really is no point to, like, half the sequels, especially the 4th one. But this movie is pretty creepy, actually. It's about as creepy as Halloween is. It's a very complicated story. You kind of need to watch it to get it. That's a guy who is just not okay in the head, really. Now we're getting into the Saw series, but my battery is low, so I'm going to charge the battery and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I just recharged my batteries. And that is the only downside I have with this camera so far, is its battery life. It goes down pretty fast, so I turned down the brightness of the screen, which might help with that. So yeah, it's pretty good. Now we're getting to the Saw series. Now I love the Saw series. I love the first one. The first one's pretty good. This is before the series was all gory. And a lot of people think the whole series is gore and that there's no character development. Eventually it starts to get to that point, but I'd say the first 4 anyway, aren't like that. But the rest of them were, in my opinion. But Saw 1 is pretty good. I like this one. This is a pretty complicated movie with an ending that you probably never guess whatever happened. And it's hard to... I can't explain the entire ending because I'd be here for like 20 minutes. Saw 2 and Saw 3. Now, on my other channel, another member gave me 2 of these, which thank you so much for giving me these 2 DVDs. You know who you are, by the way. And thank you so much for giving me these 2 DVDs. These are both awesome. And look at that disc. That disc is pretty creepy. It's Jigsaw's face. Which, by the way, a lot of people think that Jigsaw is the killer in this movie. I'm just like, what? And Saw 3, I like how there's always like a different like thing. Like for Saw 2, there's 2 fingers. For Saw 3, there's 3 hanging teeth. But see, this is, once again, this is an actual disc. Like Dan Lyon gave me, that's his name on our other channel. He gave me this, but he didn't have the little slip, so I printed this cover off. But still, thank you so much for these DVDs. I think these 2 are my favorite in the whole series. Actually, I think the first 4 are my favorite. But yeah, these are both great. The third one's pretty gory though. It's very disturbing at times. Saw 4. Now, the first time I watched this movie, I really didn't like it. But I go back to watch, because I didn't understand the story at all, but I go back to watch it now, and it's actually pretty good. But I swear, as the movies go on, they just get gorier and gorier and gorier. Like, not with the blood, but with some of the traps. Like, they just get really disturbing. But once again, they have a little tie-in right there, because on the scale it says 4, and the movie is Saw 4. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not, but it probably is. And, I think this movie, I'm not going to say, because it's probably a spoiler. Alright, now we got these, Saw 5. This doesn't have that little 5 thing, it's just got this guy's face in the box of water. Now this movie was alright, but it felt kind of unnecessary. I should probably just watch the whole series again. Well, actually, it's kind of necessary with the ending for 4, but now Saw 6. Now this one, Saw V1 is Roman numerals for 6, and right here, this is a V, right there. I'm guessing this is supposed to be the 1. But this movie, I just remember this, all the traps were stupid, and the characters were just very ditzy, like they were actually like not the smartest characters out of all of them. And even, see this trap right here is just stupid, like they're tied to this carousel thing and they, like a shotgun shoots them. And I was just thinking, really? But actually, no spoilers please, because I haven't seen Saw 7 yet. So, yeah. Oh great, the battery's running low again. Alright, I better hurry this up. Scream 1, I like this movie. I think it's pretty good. Scream 2, I like this one, also pretty cool. Not as good as the first one, but, you know, it's still okay. Scream 3, I think this one's not very good. It's just, the story's stupid and, I don't know, it just seemed kind of pointless. Scream 4, now I actually went to see this one in theaters with the guy who lent me Saw 2 and 3, and he loved it. I actually thought he'd be pretty scared, since he's a year younger than I was. But, yeah, this is on Blu-ray, and I think it's great. I think it's way better than 2 or 3. Now, we got Puppet Master 1, 2, and 3. I haven't even bothered watching 2 or 3 because the first one was just so bad. It was literally... I got this for $5 2 years ago. I only watched the first one, and I put it back in its box and never watched any of them after that. That's how bad it was. And the last one I have is The Silence of the Lambs. For those who don't know, this is the Hannibal Lecter movie. And this movie is very, like, intense. It's not, like, the goriest movie ever, but it's pretty disturbing, like, mentally. And, yeah, I recommend watching it. And thank you all for watching. And I might make another showing off of my other horror stuff, like, bobbleheads and merchandise stuff. But, yeah. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the rest of my Sonic Adventure 2 playthrough.